Another video on causation questions, this time Stalin's economic policies. So these are the two questions that have been asked so far. As you can see, they're more recent ones. Maybe this is a sign that Cambridge are going to be asking more on economic policies this year. Think about these questions, but think about the other questions they might ask you along the same lines. So how to revise? First of all, start with the problems with the economy. Start with the problems with the NEP. Understand the NEP and the problems with it, and you understand a lot of the motivation for change. You also need to make sure that you're looking at the leadership struggle stuff as well, because the leadership struggle and the economy are very closely connected. So once you've done that, identify all the major reasons for collectivization for the 5-year plans, understand them separately, but also understand how they're connected together. Rank them in order, but also understand the interconnectedness of these two policies, and for each one understand why it was important and make sure you've got 3 detailed examples. Once you've got your list of reasons, and you'll find the relevant stuff from about page 48 in the booklet, think about all of the ways you might group these reasons together. So Cambridge so far have suggested a couple of options: ideology, practical considerations, or the desire to increase his own power. So think about how you might group your reasons under these headings. I think contingency arguments are the key ones here, because categorization doesn't really work because they were both really introduced around about the same time. So think about contingency arguments by doing some thought experiments. Would Stalin have launched his economic policies without the war scare in 1927 or the grain procurement crisis in 1928? Would he have launched those policies had he not been a Marxist-Leninist? What was it about collectivization that meant it was only likely to be introduced by a communist state? Would he have introduced those economic policies if he had been more secure as a leader, or if the power of the peasantry hadn't been so strong? So think about those things, and I think you're closer to being able to build a contingency argument. Think finally about the way these questions are worded. So motivated more by ideology than by practical considerations. As I've been trying to say all year, it's always both. Always both. Now what you might do is say it's more ideology for collectivization than for industrialization, for example. But I think your overall argument would be it was always both. And although he might have chosen to introduce particular policies in particular ways at particular times because of practical considerations, he was always going to be choosing those policies because of his ideology. And then second question, to what extent was it a desire to increase his own power? I think what I'd be saying is it was designed to increase his control, his ability to ensure, to guarantee a grain supply or the compliance of the peasantry. But it wasn't really about power, I don't think. So pay attention to the way the questions are worded, because that gives you an opportunity to construct an argument as well. Hope that helps.